Don't be afraid to reach out to people who are more established than you. At the same time, you need to create a community around people who are at the same level as you in order to grow together. Be yourself, find friends who are like similar to you and at a similar level.
Being an independent artist is hard, but if you're persistent, it's rewarding. Living on the road, waking up every day somewhere new is one of the best feelings in the world for me.
And it's been a learning process for us, but we feel like we're really getting things figured out, constantly making progress, so that feels good.
If you can impress a crowd in New York City, you're doing something right.
Music is fundamentally an emotional connection. It has the power to move you beyond words, make you feel a certain way. I think that's what any musical artist is trying to do, is create a feeling, a vibe, a sense of something bigger than yourself.
We learned that we both are really into hip hop, that led to us working on music together.
The moment when we figured that we should do it ourselves is because when you get into these type of corporate positions, regardless of what company it is, you can only go but so far.
What we do know is that it took us 15, 20 years to amass all of this knowledge, and we want to be able to share this with people so that they can learn it in, a couple years.
I am here in Studio 18 in Winter Park, Florida. Daddy Yankee has been through here. Bad Bunny has been through here. Ayo, the producer, you might know him from Hold Up. Anytime you hear that on a record, which you hear it a bunch, that's Ayo.
In fact, a lot of those records were produced out of here for a whole year stint straight.
I made this video I'm about to show you guys. Basically, all the last levels from all these different old school games.
The poem that I wrote about George Floyd's forces, pain, money, men, stillness, rain, paying games.
Hey, this is Spencer Froh, and welcome to our new show, brought to you by The Producer's Edge and Launch Global. We are a passionate collective of producers, artists, and educators who are out to entertain you, celebrate art and diversity, and go behind the scenes to demystify the creative process. Every other week, we bring you the dopest original content and delve deep into the genius minds of its creators.
Today, we're going to learn about the Jersey Fresh Jam. After 15 years, still going strong, a festival celebrating graffiti artists and muralists, as well as all the elements of hip-hop coming together to create one high-energy experience.
What's going on? I'm Leon Rainbow, a graffiti artist. I write Rain. We're at Jersey Fresh Jam here in Trenton. This is our 15th annual, and basically it's a celebration of graffiti, hip hop, DJing, MCing, breakdancing, and just really a celebration of art and culture.
Yeah, my brother went down, he caught a felony. I'm here like, what is he telling me? We was just in the field and making deals, just running up on the energy. And the mama can think about times of the past like an open book she read to me. She said, Brandon, I'm glad you're doing you. Had me thinking like, is there better me? Cause there better be. See too many turn to enemy, jump back up off me, they quick turn in front of me. Can't waste time on them haters, cause they really is not on my pedigree. Especially people who dead to me, it really took a whole toll on me mentally. Running it up and I know they ain't catching me. And the haters, I know that they mad at me. This is my message.
My friend Post too, he put together the B-Boy Barbecue. I kind of learned that and seen how they did different events, and then when we got this location in 2005, I was like, I really want to put together a similar cool event. We had about 10 people come out and paint this wall. We had artists from Philly, New York, and Jersey, and then it just grew from there. We started meeting other people, bringing other people from out of town in different areas, and getting those different styles and influences coming over here to Jersey. After about 5 years, we started getting the music involved. DJ Just a Mod curates the music. And once he really started bringing the music in, then a lot of the community really started to celebrate this event.
All right. My name is Mastro. I paint graffiti, I do murals, I body paint. But what we're at right now is the Jersey Fresh event. This is my first time doing it, and I love it. The scenery is great. You've got green areas to chill, lots to chill, front area, food, performances, the whole nine. And as someone that's been to enough of these type of events, very happy with the way this whole thing has been put together. Smooth, I get here, boom, there's a spot, get rocking, painted and had a great day. That's it in a nutshell. Jersey Fresh, baby.
this is my masterpiece. When they rap, they be talking all cap and they acting, you know their whole life is a fallacy. I don't know what can happen, but if I don't try, then they gon' think that they match me. Killing back cause ain't nobody passing me. Man, it's sweating my dream in reality. I sit back and I laugh, think about time. All of them thoughts was attacking me, so I'm losing my head, out of my mind. All of them demons harassing me, but I'm praying to God, I know I'm gon' shine. But it's gon' take a few casualties, but the homies are drinking a bag of weed. Introduced to a whole new anatomy, let us out of the shackles and let us free.
My name is Losto. I've been going and painting over at Rain and Mex Jersey Fresh Jam since about 2012, 2013. You know, I mean, I was always a fan and always admired what they've put together. It's been going on for 15 years now. So it's 2020, they've started back in 2005. I knew about it maybe about 3 or 4 years before I was able to paint there, which again, when I was starting to paint there and still to this day, even when I painted there last week, you know, I feel wild appreciative. You know, I've had to up my ability in painting for sure over the years to be able to keep it afloat with the quality work that goes in at that event. You know, everybody's there for a reason because the homies brought us out there and invited us to go. You know, it's not just, you can't just pop up and paint because you got a bucket of paint. It's a good feeling to be a part of something that's been bumping and moving and progressing for a long time.
To me, like, community really is just getting together with a similar purpose. We love lettering and, you know, we love characters, graffiti, you know, we just really have a lot of love for the art. Like Slow Keys out here from Texas, you know, and we have Sauco and Emse, they're from Spain, but they live in Philly. And, you know, really just like, so it doesn't really matter where you're from or what you look like or whatever, but it's really about the art. And then, you know, we kind of build from there, you know, and it's really just also bringing the community like from Trenton or from the surrounding area just to come out and be able to, you know, interact with the different artists.
I'm aggravated, I work hard for this. Ain't it start with this, I ain't knowing yet. So when I'm rapping for, cause it's hip-hop dreams, I'm a raw mature. I can call it quit, I ain't proud of this. Free shows, I ain't even getting tips. Yo, these rupees, they ain't even sucking dick. Yo, these venues, they ain't trying to pay for trips. No endorsements, me, I gotta pay for kids. But this tank on E, I'm getting nowhere quick. Nigga, oh shit, that's life though. It's like I'm losing, I need to get it right though. When it's time, we about to move out. With the credit low, I can't cop a house. Back to the hood again, goddamn. But yo, I gotta do what I gotta do as a man, I'm a king. Royalty, with a big nose and a black face. Big lips, so get your facts straight. Never let me try to predicate my mental, my credential. Gonna work hard, got potential. Gonna read more, gonna dream big. Gonna reproduce and make more kids. Tell them, hi. So it's going down so much, I'ma play with no one to have. Yeah. Put your lighters up, all my smokers, put your lighters up.
It's like graffiti is a dialect. Graffiti is our own language, and how we translate it is how we paint. And we all have our own style. We all like to floss. We all like to show off in a way. So this gives us an outlet for us to show off our creative juices to a very interesting scene, because we have people here that don't just write. We have kids, adults, you know, everybody's here breakdancing, MCing, regulars, irregulars. We have a whole bunch of everything, and it's all aggregating in one spot, and everybody's been having a great time.
What inspired me to become a graffiti artist would be, I was trying to just leave breadcrumbs behind wherever I'd go, just kind of see it as I go back there and feel comfortable. Like I don't know about supposed to be there, but I was here before, so it's not like it's a new place for me. I didn't always write the same, but I always knew that I had wrote, so it was comforting to me. What everybody else thought.
And there's something about graffiti that just, if you're born and raised in the Bronx, it's kind of part of your diet. You see it everywhere. If you understand it, you want to be part of it. If you want to be part of it, you want to add to it and create to it and this, that, and the third. Even when I first started writing, you know, little dumb tags on mailboxes and little street tags with mean streaks and everything like that, like I realized then I wasn't nice, even by a long shot. So it's like I kept venturing out the spots, kept going down the track side, going upstate and finding all these weird places, finding graffiti like in the middle of nowhere, in the bandos, along tracks, street sides and everything. And like it just kept clicking. It was just like, feed me more of this stuff. And then here we are 100 years later, and I still am learning.
Saturated thoughts, daydreaming dollar resorts. Money's on the mind, since that money is time. I'm freeing all of mine, circulating. Yeah, double jubilee, we definitely celebrating that golden harvest. Don't got no time for no stress, flying out west. Ain't trying to be no best, but yet still no contest. I beg, make the yonder boy before something line for the chest. No ego flow, I ain't G.I. Joe. Got a lot of self-control, yeah, I know time for let self go. The talk always make you let your true self show. So watch me send all haters back to their dojos. More practice before you step in these courts. I'll be that true sport and let you live this time around. Time for the clouds. I said the time for the
clouds. I've been a part of the community for 16, 17 years now. It's accepted the walls that I've been doing because they're done, let's say, I guess, quote unquote, properly. I make sure I cover end to end, top to bottom. Nobody's left out hanging, and anybody that's painted on the wall before me with a tag or throw that's visible, I make sure I try to at least reach out to them, if not include them in on the wall that we're redoing, you know? Always got walls consistently coming on the radar, so I include them in events, and whatever we could do, it's one hand wash the other. You know, that's the whole real definition of community. You know, we all help each other.
Sewing up the entire United States, back and forth, like literally doing a gig 1 week in Ohio, then coming down to Texas, then going to like Tennessee, then going to like Alabama, then Florida, just all throughout the US. So I paint murals at them, I curate art crews, I bring in artists, I build. So like a build would be like, when you see this graffiti wall behind me, is literally building that live, right? So that artists can put their murals on it to showcase their work at said festival. Or it's, hey, we need you to come in and build seating structures and then do a paint of this. I mean, literally the shit I was doing 2 weeks ago was nothing but sign detail. And I loved it. I also do work on production aspects and back of house green room stuff. So like, if you are a DJ, you've seen my work. If you're an attendee, you've seen my work. If you're just an attendee and you're sitting in a weird structure and you're like, wow, this makes for good sits. Like it doesn't click in your head that the festival hired someone to actually build it and then paint it. And then there you go. So it's like, that's like a little peek into what I do.
Yeah, so here we're in, I guess, one of my businesses, which would be the Color Gallery, the paint shop here in Newark, at a pet store up in South Orange, Zen Pets. We do a holistic pet food supply. The clothing brand Get Lost a lot. You know, I mean, that's a lot of my artwork on apparel. If you're wearing, you know, my brand and, you know, it's something that we've built together over time. It's the quality that I put into a product that actually they're supporting. It's not just alone the product itself.
Doing a pirate character, so you know, a lot of the pieces, you know, I asked the different artists, like, you know, either don't do any type of characters or background, or just make them all like kind of pirate related. So what I wanted to do with this piece is I'm using hard shapes like circles and triangles, rectangles, and kind of shading them in a certain way to give it like a dimensional feel. And then also with like the different drop shadows and color changes, you know, that really kind of gives it like a dimension. And then so I have the R, the A, you know, and then the I is like the arm with the flag, the Jolly Roger with the spray tap. And then the N is kind of this piece here. And then I'm still working on it, so I have like a couple other little minor details, but it's pretty much almost done.
And the weird thing is, because this year, being the 2020 COVID, mask up everything, normally full year I'm touring. This year has been not touring and getting to paint more, not rushed, like, oh, I'm in a random state and I want to get busy here while I'm here. It's like, I could do a lot more leisure painting, and I love it. So that's like the weird plus about this weird pandemic.
A lot of the pieces that I do are just a kind of mishmash of the colors that I have in abundance, whether it's on hand. I try not to come here to pluck colors. I kind of let it do its own thing. I always have crates of paint on hand from either just jobs that have been leftover paint or my personal paint from doing side jobs. So I kind of mishmash whatever colors I can and make it happen. And it was a good day. The vibes were definitely there. I was feeling great. You know, we had a whole DJ booth set up behind us with the B-boys came out, you know, and it's like we had a great time. When the vibes is there, man, anybody could paint something phenomenal. You gotta put the time into it to get something phenomenal out of it. You know, it's an exemplary example of a hip hop event.
Right.
It's fully encompassing all the elements. I mean, you got the MC, the DJing, the B-boying, and the graffiti, you know? I mean, and they're all at the oomph level. You know, this is actually put together well, to say the least. You know, and again, it feels great to be a part of it.
And the A, my home, my city. In New York, man, I know that they with me. Try to stop me, you know I'ma get to the cheese. But you the rat, Mickey. Man, I wish that I could've told my brother stay home when he got caught with a blicky. I'm the one that they call when they gon' fall, when the situation's sticky. Yeah, I'm getting rich, no kidding. You gon' die trying like 50. Every move that I make could've made a mistake, but I gotta be risky. Know a lot of people who ain't stab me in the back. It's like I got shot, Ricky. Had to move to a whole nother setting. If they want me, they gon' have to get me. Yeah, my brother went down, he caught a felony. I'm here like, what is you telling me? We was just in the field and making deals, just running up on our energy. And little mama can think about times of the past, like an open bush, she read to me. She said, Brandon, I'm glad you're doing you. I be thinking like, is there better me? Cause there better be. Better be. Yeah.
So Hez was my student back, oh man, like 8 years ago when he was like 14 or 15. Yeah. And now he's grown up. He's an actor, he's a songwriter.
Better late than never, that's what I used to say. I hate the fact that I really let you get away. I just say it's okay, just to ease the pain. Going back and forth playing games like a charade.
He's a dancer and choreographer.
Keep going.
I put that in there.
Beatbox and MC and a poet. Like, come on now.
We get to play your recent video, but why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and, you know, what's going on with you?
I mean, lately I've been rebuilding myself, mind, body, and soul. Working out heavy, trying to, you know, get better as a lyricist, as a songwriter. Getting things off the ground, trying to get things on all platforms so when we can, you know, get back outside and I'm able to do shows, just kind of can reach different people. You know, just getting better at my craft. You know, every day I'm doing something. So like, if I'm not songwriting, I'm studying different types of dance movement. If I'm not doing that, I'm studying musicians or I'm studying the art of performing. You know, and like I said, I'm working out because I feel like, you know, it's part of my job and duty. If somebody asks me to perform, that, you know, I need to have the stamina to do so. So just doing that, you know, watching different movies, studying as an actor, studying scripts. So I just really been taking that time, you know what I mean? And I've been a construction worker, kind of trying to build my own little studio in my crib. So that's been kind of interesting.
Sweet. So you have a bunch of videos out that you've made over the last just maybe a year. And is this the most recent one, Innocent and Guilty?
Yeah, it's
right?
the most
Yeah. This came out before the pandemic and before the resurgence of Black Lives Matter and George Floyd and all that. So it was kind of seeing into the future. Well, it was seeing the now because it was happening then, but I mean, it's so relevant now. So I'm about to play it, and if you could stay on with us, we'll just talk a little bit about it after.
I didn't do it, I swear to God. And I don't even swear to God, I put that on my mom. I did nothing wrong, how would you like for me to prove it? You got a gun on your hip, please don't shoot it. Sorry officer for blasting loud music. I know that's kinda dumb, and I know it's kinda stupid. Yes, I am young, we tend to do things that's foolish. I mean, you were my age once, I know you used to do it. Here's my license, and here's the registration. I do what you say, I give you full cooperation. I'm not reaching for nothing, I'm just nervous, that's why I'm shaking. Cause I could lose my life, and my heart is steady racing. Now officer, what's the reason for you pulling me over? I don't have any drugs, and I'm driving sober. I'm a college student who's getting off work late. I changed my work clothes, you probably think we dress the same. But I'm different, I study, don't go to clubs at night. I see you reaching, officer, please, I love my life. You got the power not to shoot me, and you know it's true. I didn't say or do anything to provoke you. I do everything that I'm supposed to do. Just put yourself in my shoes or imagine someone close to you. I know what you see on the news, but I'm being honest. Don't shoot, I didn't do anything, I promise.
Prove it to me. Can you prove it to me? Prove it to me. Innocent or guilty. Can you prove it to me? Prove it to me. Can you prove it to me? Innocent or guilty?
I'm new on the force, I have to be aggressive. To get my point across, I'll teach you a lesson. And if you flinch and move, I'll shoot with no second guessing. Cause to my knowledge, I'm not sure if you carrying weapons. Don't make me angry or test my patience. Let me look at your license and check the registration. Stop all that talking, I gather the information. I'll read it over twice for confirmation with no conversation. And just a reminder, the speed limit's 25. You look kinda young, I know you're under 25. When I put you over, you hit the brakes kinda hard. The owner is 67, is this your grandma's car? The names on the registration don't match up. I'm no magician, but this really don't add up. Please don't provoke the situation or don't act up, because if you do, I would be forced to call for backup. Don't lie, I hope this car isn't stolen. I'm gonna pat you down and see what kind of drugs you're holding. Coming from work, isn't it kinda late? You better tell the truth and get your story straight. Step outside the car, you have the right to remain silent. Stay calm, so things won't get violent. The music being so loud, that's a violation. There be further questions down at the station.
Prove it to me. Can you prove it to me? Prove it to me. Innocent or guilty? Can you prove it to me? Prove it to me. Can you prove it to me? Innocent or guilty?
I still feel feel all kinds of emotions from watching that.
Amazing, bro. Amazing.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Absolutely amazing.
You know what inspired it? I guess what had you come up with the ending?
It was easier to write it from my perspective, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Because I was playing myself. But I have a friend of mine that just so happened to be an officer. And, you know, in the process of writing the cops verse, he said to me, he was like, you know, it's kind of messed up. They think, you know, all cops are bad cops. And, you know, my immediate response was like, you know, well, you know, cops, they tend to do things that's not so pleasant. And then I was always told to think before you speak. So before I even reacted, I took in what he said, and I was like, you know, he's right. Like, not everybody's, you know, not every cop is horrible. So I did want to show that dynamic, that, you know, like there are, you know, some cops that actually do their job the correct way. So when he said that, I was like, you know what, I could flip it, because I had so many ideas of endings and things like that. So I definitely wanted to give that perspective. And even in the whole, like, directing the video, I wanted to have my character talk first, because in that situation, I wouldn't even be talking. I wouldn't even talk. Like, I'll let the cop tell me what I'm supposed to be doing, because you just never know nowadays. But I wanted the reaction to, you know, be me talking and automatically assuming that he was trying to arrest me. And then his reaction is now, since you feel that way, now I'm going to treat you like the stereotype, and, you know, things of that nature. So, yeah, that was pretty much the process of that. You can look it up, Innocent or Guilty Has, featuring Amber Marie. Again, shout out to my sister. She did an amazing job. Even in that process, I wrote the hook, and I told her, I was like, I want you to sing it like this, but bring that soulful. I want, you know, the audience to really feel it. I got some songs where, you know, I'm turning up. I got some songs where, you know, I'm flexing a little bit. I got some love songs. So I got, you know, different lanes I go into. But this one, I was like, you know, I really want to tell a powerful story that I think everybody can kind of relate to in some form. You know, however you view it or your perspective is, that's, you know, on you. And I leave that up to you as the viewer. And I feel as though, like, sometimes as artists, I feel like we don't even have to speak. Sometimes just let your work do it and let people take their perspective. You know, when you go to a museum, you see a painting, the artist's not there to tell you, you know, your perspective. So I think it's the same thing, you know, with music and in visuals. So, you know, I pitched the idea to Fro, and he's like, yeah, man, that would be great. And at first, when I first told him, he thought I was out of my mind. He's like, that's a lot to do. You sure you can do all that? I'm like, listen, man, anything I put my mind to, we're going to make this happen. So I want to thank you to Fro, because you know, you were believing in me. So, I mean, you didn't doubt me. You were skeptical about certain ideas. Like, I don't know. Then when you start seeing it, you were like, oh yeah, I definitely see it now. I see what you mean.
Definitely. That happens a lot with us, because you take it to, like, the next level. I'm like, what? Are you for real? On many occasions, not just this song, you will work it till it works. You're that kind of artist. So definitely, like, I'll never doubt you again. Word.
I want to say shout out to George, King Visuals. You know what I'm saying? I want to say shout out to James, who acted as the cop. My boy Shane and Nosa, they played the friends. But yeah.
Who was the audio engineer?
Audio engineer, Fro. Yeah, you got to give it up for Fro. I know. Listen. It is so yeah, man. Just shout out to everybody. I want to say I really do appreciate everybody that had a hand in, and everybody who, you know, helped my vision come, you know, true. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate that, like, big time.
Thanks for joining us, Hez. You can follow him on IG @TheRealHez and find more of his music and videos on YouTube via Hezekiah Crockett. And thanks everyone at Jersey Fresh Jam and TerraCycle, the company who donates their property to the Jam every year and that promotes sustainability by actually recycling the unrecyclable. Catch the next Jersey Fresh in late summer next year and learn more at jerseyfreshjam.com and on IG @JerseyFreshJam. Thanks for watching. See you next time.